Fnatic. Their last rotation, 3 seconds as the timer ticks down, and that's a Yasuo top lane.
All right. That just happened. There's actually an abundance of tank Yasuo players in the top lane in European solo queue. They get like 1 damage item and then they go like hybrid tank and they're just really annoying. There is Eternal Pillar and Rek'Sai knockup to proc this Yasuo. We've seen this matchup once. Who was it? NA played it like... I remember this story being, I think it was Spring Split, almost like a Dignitas matchup. I don't know. We saw, or Darshan,
It's been a while.
I think Darshan whipped it out once and they had the Yasuo ready as the secret pocket pick counter pick into Gnar, I think it was, and then just got smashed anyways. The whole matchup is based around Yasuo filling up his shield and then being able to take the poke from Gnar and take the wave. If not, he puts the wind wall. The problem is wind wall has such a long cooldown that you only have 1 wall every like 20 odd seconds, and Gnar can just keep boomeranging you in the face.
That's
if
risky.
you ever fall behind in this matchup, it is FF20.
Oh, that's risky. Okay, Fnatic, they're laying it out on the line here. That's a lot of damage though if they can get it up.
But they're gonna
be able to do a lot.
Pushed, I think, in unless Kikis can get the perma push here with jungle pressure. I think we'll definitely get pushed in the bot lane. Mid lane Vladimir early should be okay, but then once Ryze gets access to these waves, we're gonna see if he can get the shove.
Gotta see how these jungles go. Yeah, this is gonna be a really, really interesting lane matchup, and just across the board. I mean, there's gonna be a lot of explosive fights. I said it last game, but of course it's gonna be true against. It's Fnatic, it's Unicorns. Who do you guys at home think is gonna be the winner in game number 2? Can Fnatic with a top lane Yasuo? Of course it's Kikis is playing it. Hashtag FNC when at LOL Esports is the place. Or if you think the Unicorn magic is still there after game number 1, hashtag UOL win. We are gonna find out. We're loading onto the Rift, and I can't wait to see how it all goes down.
Well, you don't have to wait very long.
Right on cue.
Teams are ready to storm out of the base here. They got locked. The gates are open because they get put into the baby cage for like first 10-15 seconds of the game, and then you can rush out.
Speaking of rushing, never get tired of seeing that Ryze run. Inspires me. Do more laps around my hometown. Around my neighborhood, that is. So Exile, we talked about this Ryze. I run around the neighborhood. Yeah, I was gonna say I'm actually that in shape. No, definitely not. But Exile has played this Ryze. He has definitely made a point of it. It's been banned against him on several occasions. I want to see what he makes of it this time because there were definitely some stellar moves the last time we saw it come out.
We see our first duel.
Yeah, Kikis is already there. Moves coming in.
Surprise, 2v1.
Unlucky. Ooh, he's low.
He's gonna walk away.
Yeah, that's a.
Oh, he's dying here, Pyra.
Yeah.
Oh, Spirit.
He's fast.
Closed in.
Oh, Yellow Star's there.
But this is obviously in Yellow Star's favor, or Hylissang's favor rather, because he has Spell Thieves, fucking that gold straight to the bank.
Keep getting it.
Yeah, it's really important for like. There's actually a reason these guys are fighting. Because Lucian Trundle, while they can do Krugs, if they get poked off, they can get proxied. Like not proxied in the traditional sense. They can get farmed or zoned off farm while Karma Sivir zone them level 1. This is actually, if Hylissang plays this right, Reckless and Yellow Star may not get any CS in lane. Like, does he still have his ward available? He does. So this is super dangerous. They need to let the waves meet and then zone them off after the leash here. Like, Hylissang now has to play the equivalent of a goalkeeper. This is really greedy from Fnatic to have a losing bot lane and have them leash and give Sivir early access to the wave. The only caveat here is if Veritas over pushes, okay, he's putting the range one low so he can decide if he wants to push or not. Kind of hit them too much though. So I think Fnatic's happy here. Look at him. There's only 4 creeps remaining. They're all low HP. They're going to get all these creeps to them for free. So this is Unicorns gifting the lane over to Reckless and Yellow Star because they can actually get experience. Like if Veritas and Hylissang played this more conservatively, they could have honestly punished Fnatic more. That obviously comes at the risk of getting ganked, but still I think they're honestly over pushing a tad. But now that the interesting phase is over, it's up to Yellow Star and Fnatic to farm AFK on the tower and get as much CS as they possibly can.
Oh, starting to grab a little bit back, but of course there is that lead from the beginning of it all. Have to keep an eye on this mid lane matchup and see how Febivin fares against the rise of Exile. So far, so decent. Vladimir, we've seen quite a bit of him in lane. We know how he functions these days. Yeah, definitely want to move up top at some point, but that will be an interesting matchup too.
Yeah, Vladimir in any early game matchup is just about can he get the push early by getting those empowered Qs on the right timing. But he's being challenged. Obviously, Ryze is a good pusher. Look at Exile here, basing nearly on 14 creeps. Sitting on a little bit of gold. Coming back with that tier, obviously. So he gets a really good base. Not running teleport, but he's doing the equivalent of like what teleport mages do. Just insta-shoves until level 3. Bases gets tier. Maybe he hits a few CS down. So it's a good start here. Pushing bot, pushing mid for the Unicorns.
Well, it's already looking like a better early game for him than it was last time. Of course, didn't really hold them up too much. Scaling composition a little bit different. And
yeah, and if you look at Hylissang and Veritas too, like they can comfortably push here because they're not threatened by the ganks. Because one, Reckless and Yellowstar are so low that they can probably survive. Two, they have their jungler with Scuttle Crab is taken down, so they're covered in the river, which means they can move their Trinket Ward instead of in the bush right next to the lane. They can move it to enemy dry brush. So there is no real tunnel path that Spirit can take unless he really goes from behind them. But then he would be spotted by move. So they're actually like 3 for 3 in gang protection, which means now the Unicorns need to tell their top laner, well, Rek'Sai is definitely not ganking bot lane. The only lane he can be is top.
Yep, sends a Praise Seeker. Chachi knows what's up. He's not in too much danger though. Fortunately, he had taken a fortuitous hop that direction. Very dead even on this farm though too, and Chachi just hasn't seemed to have too much trouble in the early game. Move is actually coming up topside. He'll be matching Spirit, still trying to take his jungle away. Spirit's got to be careful here though. Move's coming and Chachi's collapsing. This might mean a flash. The tunnel, no.
No, he can tunnel
okay,
out.
no, he
He has
double
a network built up.
He's good.
But that's Move on a different jungle. Faster pacing on the Elise, very sustained too, which means he can get a lot more experience here. And if he can challenge his own Krugs, rather, he wastes Spirit's time. So he's actually one pulling ahead. He needs to leverage that into a gank sometime. But it's super hard for Elise to gank pushing lanes. He can hover around and help them, tell them, you know what, you're safe and we can counter gank. However, the only lane he can truly show up is top, but as we see in the river, plenty of wards. Okay,
Veritas got stopped up by the pillar, but he punished Yellowstar quite heavily. They're low health bars on both him and Reckless.
Because they can never commit. They can never chase on that pillar because they will run. Their minion wave's already half dead by the time that pillar comes out. If they chase the trade, they will be fighting 6 creeps versus 0, which means you lose that trade. Same way right here. Exile, he gets poked, but he can't commit to that trade anymore because if Evan fires back, Exile stands still, he's going to eat minion damage. And Reckless has to do his best. 9 CS down right now is okay, but at one point, the potions run out. Look at Yellowstar, 0 pots. Look at Hylissang right now.
And look at the CS
Couple
difference.
and more. He still has 2 potions left himself, so...
Yeah, this Sivir Karma lane's already starting to wreak some havoc on Reckless and Yellowstar. You can see Spirit coming down bottom side, though, and there is no more Scuttle Crab vision. This could be dangerous. Veritas, he moved forward. There's a flash chomp from Yellowstar. That is going to give the game up. Instant exhaust down, spell shields on the Praise Seeker. They turn their attention to Hylissang. He's got a flash, however, the pillar's there. Exhaust on him. That's going to be first blood. It's over to Reckless now, and Spirit's a little bit low, but can he get out of town? Move has come in to try and relieve this one. Double TPs. Spirit's gone down. Move takes him out. Move a little low, and Yellowstar as well. Reckless takes down Move, and it is a big party in the bot lane, but Reckless is going to fall. A double kill over to Chachi.
Good attempt by Fnatic, but minor misplays that leading to the Unicorns actually pulling ahead. We'll tell you later why. Let's see if they can just push in. Yes, you always focus the AD carry. This play started by Yellowstar going for his traditional kind of let's flash on the enemy AD carry, slow him down. Veritas had no flash available. His spell shield ran out, and Spirit did not want to flash for the couple of inches here. Look at the start here. They could have went for Hylissang, which is fine, but if you commit and burn enemy spell shield, you can't Unburrow here, but you should just flash Unburrow if you're Spirit. Like, you should literally just go onto Veritas, because then the pillar will block Veritas, and the reason you do that is if somehow this becomes an extended exchange, Karma would be alive, and not the Sivir, because this Sivir is dealing out tons of damage here. Yes, this is a sloppy flash from Move. The second proc of the Reckless passive kills him as he flashes out, but now Veritas is being untouched, and he's like literally killing everybody one by one, and this is miscommunication by Fnatic. They went on a target with flash, while Sivir literally just flashed in front of them. Spell shield was down. There was no escape. Knock up into pillar is a guaranteed kill on the enemy AD carry. Always focus AD carry if you can.
And now Kikis is chased away from his own tower here. 7 minutes in, the Unicorn's starting to move it forward. They should be able to get themselves this first tower gold. Yeah, this is a little bit of a throwback here on 6:15, but look at going in the Unicorn's favor. They get themselves first tower blood. Fnatic are way far behind
because
with only 2.
This goes back to the earlier play. If you end a play on a push, which means the enemy minions are in the enemy turret, or like your minions are in the enemy turret, you get to base, and you're quicker on the play. You base first, you run out, you go to top lane. They have to push out the lane once they come back, and you get first brick here. And right now we see a Herald trade for Dragon, and honestly, while it is an Infernal, Rift Herald is not to be underestimated, especially not in a swingy matchup like Yasuo versus Gnar.
Oh, absolutely, and in Chachi's hands too. Has already given Kikis a little bit of trouble, so that first Dragon goes over to Fnatic. That is important, but as you said, the Rift Herald picked up by Visit Chachi now. They've got themselves quite a lot of power to work with to start pushing on the sides, and last time Unicorns gave Fnatic a hell of a fight in a 1-3-1 situation. They could possibly do it again here.
Yeah, Fnatic didn't even finish the bot lane turret. That is the most important part of this. So Hylissang and Veritas are right now, they're safe in this bot lane. They can control the wave however they want, and it's so much easier to play with the turret behind you The only guy playing on the long lane right now is Kikis, but he's suffering against Vizicachi. Look at the vision that they've left too. 2 pink wards. These things last forever here for the Unicorns.
Oh yeah, they've got that entire jungle lit up right now.
Basically, it's a get out of gang for free card, you know. Right now, Kikis clears one, but the other one, if Rek'Sai passes by at any time, he's spotted and he's giving away his information. And once you have the information on the jungler, you know roughly for the next 30 to 40 seconds what's going to happen in the game, and that's enough. If he's left side, you know he can play aggro right side. If he's not left side, guess what? He's probably on the right side. So these wards, these deep wards, give you so much information.
Unicorns able to use that information to keep themselves nice and safe here.
It's like a mental
Pass right
trigger. If you're a bot lane that's double poke, double ranged, and you see jungle on the other side of the map, you just get happy. You can just play. I call it like playing like a donkey. Like you can literally play on the enemy turret because nobody's gonna punish you.
Clinical term, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, this tower's already down to half its health. Reckless is going to be able to clear some of this away, but nonetheless, Veritas and Hylissang are having a grand old time of it. Start things off. No ults available on the supports just yet, but...
And a play that is possible right now for Unicorns is give blue buff over to Exile, have him push mid, then path down with move, have Vizicachi teleport down later, and go for kind of a bot lane fiesta with 5 people, and take that turret down.
Yeah, it's not already. So we're getting close on to 10 minutes here. Move is heading towards Spirit. Should find him out in the jungle, and at the very least, find himself pink. And Exile is in some trouble, but Move tags his way right back on in. They turn their attention over to Febivin as he comes up out of his pool. A little bit of damage, not too much more.
Exile saved his flash.
Hangs on to those summoners. He does use the Ghost.
Does use the Ghost. Trades it for a lot of damage, though. So that play pattern that we were talking about earlier, the potential roam down bot, for watched for a little bit. Fnatic bot lane.
3 damage in Yellow Star here, too.
Yeah, but they hit level 6, which is they have all-in pressure. Trundle pre-6 is not so fun to play, but at level 6, there's always a looming threat of Pillar into just sheer damage all in. Right
oh, nice combo. Spirit is taken really low in this one, but Febivin has got his back, and Exile has got moves. They've chopped him in Rude Prison for a sec. In goes Reckless on to Hylissang, spends a full channel of culling. Yellow Star, that would be enough damage, but the flash last second, followed by Yellow Star. Oh, doubling Hylissang! Oh, he's trying, but the chomp is too real. Now Exile, let's see if he can catch him on this one. Throws him in the prison for just a second, and Veritas, they surround. Yellow Star knows he chased too deep, and Veritas picks up a kill.
Yeah, well, I wonder why that ultimate wasn't triggered earlier on Hylissang, so he would die from the bleed. Would prevent Yellow Star from flashing over, but you have to go for it. It's the rule of the support. If you can get a flash 1-for-1, you take it. Gotta establish dominance. It does leave Reckless with access to this wave. But overall, Hylissang overstaying is welcome. Just a tad, still level 5. Like right here, Yellow Star just ulti, you know, get dot damage, so when this guy flashes, he's dead. So because he didn't ulti,
he had to flash,
he had to flash, had to exhaust. This is 2 summers that you can trade for, just your ultimate.
Yeah, and he didn't have to die there either.
Yeah, and you're alive. But summoners, Pyra.
Yeah, no, summoners are
Think of
important,
the
man.
pillar.
They take a lot longer to come back up than you do.
Yeah. Like you're up in like 20 seconds. These things, these flashes, they're precious.
Yep.
Like diamonds.
Well, you know all about that one.
I was a diamond. Screw you, Pyra.
It's okay, man. It's a few more divisions higher than me. Down on the bottom side, Veritas is going to finish up the tower. Unicorns have got themselves a nice little gold lead, but you know they've definitely got to work at keeping the lead for themselves. There is another Infernal when the next Dragon comes back up, and look at the map control they've got right now. This is looking really good for them.
Yeah, they're kind of playing handoff. There's a little bit of an all-in. Chachi.
Up and out. Chachi's hanging with this one. He does not spend the flash away. There's the hop.
That's what you got to do. Hop away as he dashes in. So Chachi has the control. Unicorns, they're leveraging their push pressure. Something they Fnatic was doing in the last game. Here they're doing themselves. They push in mid. Then they kind of tag team together into enemy jungle, drop some wards. Look again, you know, 3 wards in Spirit's jungle. It's so hard for him to surprise because they constantly have that information of the deep vision. Whereas Fnatic, they're playing in the dark. Yes, he can cancel him a couple of times, but
sometimes a shot in the dark's better than none.
Yeah, look at the vision. Like Fnatic doesn't see much right now. If you get a vision toggle of like Fnatic's vision, they have so little to work with.
Yeah, compared to the Unicorns, who've got the entire bottom jungle surrounding the Dragon Pit right now. There's Fnatic's vision on the map. It's completely dark.
Yeah, it's so hard.
Even
like,
in the river.
Where's this jungler? Like, you have no clue whatsoever. Like, is he doing
You don't see anyone.
Is he doing race right now? Is he doing wolves? Like, he could go from base to left or right, and that could indicate how you have to play. Whereas right now, Unicorns of Love, with a certainty, know that Spirit's not on the right side of the map currently. So he's either left side or in base, and he has to reveal himself. And it's those little things. These pro teams, they can extrapolate so much information of that. That's why deep wards are so valuable.
And this is a level of macro play that Unicorns have been able to put out this series that we're just not used to seeing from them. It's a little bit when you're already kind of ahead,
fundamental.
it's still fundamental, but we haven't seen it from this team
Yeah.
historically. And it's nice to see this change. This could mean the difference between moving on or not. They're one game up. They're looking for more here, but Unicorns, they're just looking like the stronger team as Yellowstar finds himself CC chained.
CC chain, but where is Kikis? Like, is Fnatic going to turn this into... You can play Kikis is moved down from top lane to challenge and contest this dragon. However, in the setup, because of lack of vision, Fnatic has to face check not for the objective. They have to face check for the vision of the objective. Kikis ran down, and Fnatic, they were going to brute force a 5v4, 5v3, but Yellowstar ate the poke. Right now, they have to yield because the Unicorns of Love, because they had the control of the map, they don't have to group up for the objective. They can keep their split push on the side lane, and look at it. Vizichachi with the Herald buff is leveraging that push. He's forcing Kikis to go back. Because Yellowstar got poked, Unicorns are going to get both their cakes and eat them too.
Yep, unless Spirit can pull off himself a Miracle Steal. Nothing doing that time. Infernal Drake goes over to Unicorns. They even it up. Chachi is still pushing on the top side, dodging out the tornadoes from Kikis.
Yeah, and this is all on the back of vision. And people always they underestimate what it gives you because it gives you time. Whereas Fnatic could walk up and contest you on Dragon if they had the wards, they now have to contest every single brush. There's like a paranoia in them, like every step you take, every move you make, Karma could be queuing you. And that is essentially what happened to Yellowstar.
Yeah, Fnatic have been having to play with very limited information. It's making it very tough for this team. And as we mentioned at the start of the game, it is a team that is already prone to nerves when you're down one game and now you're not able to do what you want to in game number 2. This is the kind of thing that can cause tilt.
Yeah, and engage. And look at the Hillsang. Double sweep, get the edge of this next brush to get a slightly, a tier 1 ward is kind of called. First ward in enemy jungle. Once that's safe, you go for the next one after you push. But Protocol 131 is engaged once again. Now it's Ryze on the side lane. It's in a similar boat as Talia in the last game where the Ryze can't teleport in, but he has Ghost. And he has his ultimate later on to join fights.
Yeah, and that ward that Yellowstar was able to put in is like the first they've gotten in the Unicorns jungle in a long time. Now Febvin is dueling it out with Veritas in the middle.
Good spell shield.
Yeah, there's a good spell shield. 2-level difference. Got to be careful on Veritas' side. But Chachi, he's still doing work, and he does put away the tower while Fnatic will only finish off their first in the bottom. That's the difference this game has been already.
Yeah. Unicorns, they can't quite play around topside yet because Baron is yet to spawn. So Exile needs to hold here to like not succumb to the pressure. But Exile is almost, or Vizichachi rather, is so comfortable. You know what? You take one down, pass the gold around, and you go to the next turret.
Yeah. He's doing a lot of damage, a lot of work with the Rift Herald buff. It's certainly paid out dividends for him. Febvin will finally find that second pink ward, but Unicorns have already done what they needed to do up in this side of the map as they had knocked down the second tier turret.
They've lost their deep vision right now, though. So the map has kind of reset, despite being 3,000 gold down. Fnatic also put their 3-man squad in the mid lane. They have good side laners with the Yasuo and the Vladimir, but they're not as in a dominant position as Unicorns due to that gold deficit.
Yeah, matched on dragons as well. There'll be a Mountain Drake coming up next that can help turn the tide in case of Baron. Just about every time, Exile will find a pink ward in the tri-brush here and clear that one away since he has free time on it. Unicorns on the bottom side looking to reestablish their vision control, but it's Hillsang who finds himself by himself, and he inspires his way out of danger for now. We'll see if Unicorns can keep this map pressure up, kind of holding a line and shoving into Fnatic territory.
Definitely like the way the Unicorns have been using their pink wards throughout both games. Honestly, it's the foundation of the vision because they last indefinitely, and honestly, you just need, because you don't have access to infinite amount of wards right now. Hillsang trying to protect his brush, but he's kind of cornered here. Good zoning by Veritas. He steps forward, puts the aggro on Febvin to make sure that his support's not getting cornered in the brush. It's a fight for its ward wards right now.
Oh, we've seen several of those. Spirit is pulled the trigger onto Hillsang. The tether's still there. They've stopped him, but Yellowstar's at his back.
Don't mind me, just taking my Rek'Sai for a walk on the leash.
Spirit's going to have to back off out of that one. They do want to grab themselves control. You can see Exile still happily farming away on the jungle, or on the bottom side rather, as Chachi takes away the blue buff. So we'll have to see how it all goes down. Unicorns, I mean, one game up here. It's a best of 5, but if this keeps trending this way, Unicorns, they could be one game away from facing off against Splice. And, for Fnatic, what a crazy thing that would be to not make Worlds after so many successful years in a row.
So many good performances too. They had 2 semifinals. They've earned a world championship. Historically, this Fnatic organization is honestly one of the best, if not the best in Europe, with the most achievements here. They can even exit the season with their head held up high. It's same what the Death said. Mithy said it too. We can criticize his play for Yellowstar, but we still have to respect what he's achieved over all this time compared to the players that are on the desk that are hoping to get, honestly, as storied careers. But still, for Fnatic, this has to feel bad because they come in game 1, they lose in the fashion that they did where they didn't pull the trigger. Right now, they have the Yasuo pocket pick that comes out. It completely falls flat the same way it has done in the past because it works in scrims because everybody plays hyper aggro. But Unicorn's much more controlled. This is not the bloody Fnatic Unicorns of Love series that we're used to seeing throughout history. It was like something like 30% bloodier than most average Elite games whenever Fnatic faced off against Unicorns. However, this is the complete opposite.
Crazy last-minute Nexus defenses. I mean, yeah, Unicorns were able to control it towards the later stage, or towards the mid and later stages of the game in game 1. Unicorns are holding this lead. They're not jumping the gun. They're not pulling too far ahead. And I mean, this is the kind of team that you would look at to make Worlds.
I mean, or be in contention at least. Like this style is
still Splice, of course.
They're still Splice, and it's going to be an uphill battle. But Unicorns, they failed last year. They went down 0-3 versus Origin in the final round of the Gauntlet. And they're looking for redemption, or at least make it there. But right now, they need to stay alive.
Oh, they do. Exile body blocking. It won't be enough. Reckless takes him down and sneaks away. That's going to be one quick kill. Fnatic, speaking of redemption, they're looking for it themselves. And still a goal deficit, but they have bought themselves some time. 18 seconds until Hylissang comes back on the board. There's a Dragon and Baron spawning pretty soon.
Yeah, good pick off here. So they're looking to maybe lose an objective, but they have Chachi with push pressure in the bot lane.
Oh, they caught Spirit.
Yeah, decent damage on Spirit here. Chachi.
No Gnar
to get out. Really good hop again.
He might have to burn his flash in this one, but look at the damage he's putting out on Spirit right now. No fear as he is baiting all of Fnatic away. Finally has to burn his flash, and the rest of Unicorns start to turn towards mid.
Really controlled aggression by Chachi. He actually knows the limits of this champion very well. Similar to how earlier, whenever Yasuo dashed in, he would just jump at the right frame here. There was no jump cancel with the pillar from Yellowstar. The pillar was a little late, which means Spirit took so much damage, and Unicorns of Love have correctly fenced off this initial attempt for Fnatic to control the objective because Karma's back right now. Mid lane's being sieged, cooldowns have been used, and now it's Unicorns in control again.
Yeah, and they take a few more chip shots on the tower.
And they're sending their top laner to top, which is so almost anti-Unicorns. He needs to fill up his rage bar though, because else he's just going to arrive in Mininar.
Still, Spirit could come in for the steal. This is a bit risky here with the Mountain Drake.
Teleport comes in.
Back away from it right now. They need the teleport. It's going to be spent. Fnatic knows they're in trouble. Febiven, he finds Chachi in the brush here. Febiven going low, but he's on a Vlad. Going to pull in Hemoplague on Kikis. Turning to Chachi, who's soon to be Mega Gnar, but will it be there in time? Exhaust. Move takes out Kikis, and now the rest of Fnatic are scrambling to try and get a kill. Move is backed away. Exile takes down Reckless. Fnatic are all falling, and it's only Febiven. Make that no one. Double kill to Reckless, and that's the ace.
Oh, Fnatic got completely sucked in. Hylissang stepped forward, did a beautiful Manta Shield on all the members on his team. Fnatic tried to chase that one kill, but as he got sucked in, time kept ticking, and the rage bar on the Gnar kept filling up, and they didn't manage to take Chachi down. And what happened there is that Sivir was alive, untouched, ricochet boomerang on multiple members. This is a major falter here for Fnatic. Look at it again. They have their eyes set on a single target. Gnar comes into the fray, they back off too far, they have the wind wall to zone, and they go in. Look, they're gonna go into the funnel, chase Chachi. Hylissang follows them in here to peel, and look at Veritas. He enters the fight from the backside. There's Mega Gnar, untouched, untouched, untouched. He is simply cleaning up, uncontested as Sivir, because Fnatic, they just went into a choke point versus an impending Mega Gnar, and that is a major team fighting mistake.
And Veritas, yet again, just like we saw last game, not touching these big fights because Fnatic could not get the focus on. As a result, Unicorns clean up. They didn't even need Smite to take themselves a Baron, and now they will have it to take themselves Mountain Drake. Things are looking grim for this Fnatic team.
In a crucial Baron fight, however, last game, he was the one jumping in to create some more space for Exile to do the damage. And again, Exile dealing so much damage while our eyes are always on Veritas. The damage numbers just show Exile going off here. He's always in the center. But the damage just came out, and it's all on Chachi's Gnar ulti there.
Yeah.
We all saw it coming. Fnatic probably saw it coming too. They were just trying to get him down in time, but it just wasn't enough.
I mean, Kikis dashed in there, but the problem with the Yasuo pocket pick is there's counter. It's called Exhaust.
Yeah. And more important, it's actually, Exhaust is really strong against Yasuo. Hopefully Chachi survives so we can tell the story.
Might do, no flash, but they've got the tower, and now they find Spirit. The tether's on. They wanted to take him for a walk, but they might have to stop him in his tracks. Chachi leading the line as they caught Febiven and stunned him up. He's going to have to pull a big Gnar to knock Reckless and Yellowstar back into the team. It's going to be Veritas going down. Shutdown gold over to the Vladimir, but it may be too late for the rest of Fnatic. A double kill to Veritas, and they are inside the base.
Yeah.
Backing off, waiting for the minion wave.
2 for 2 here. They're going to Fountain here, so Unicorns of Love get access to the turret, but the inhibitor may not fall because there's only one real threat remaining here on Exile, and they're looking to take the Rise Express out. Alright, so that was a slight overchase. They didn't turn onto Febiven. Vizicachi was looking for more instead of just solidifying Febiven into the wall. Reckless stepped up in that fight, did a lot of damage. This is how it starts. Again, overreaching. Spirit stuck behind the pillar of his own support. Windwall helps. Right here is honestly where you just turn on Febiven if you're Vizicachi, or you ulti the backline out. You play appealing Gnar. He made the mistake of trying to go for the next kill. Like, he went for dessert when lunch wasn't finished, you know? That's not what you can do. You need to leave some time for that dessert. And then
there's no way you can count your calories at that point either.
Yeah.
Fortunately.
Gets messy, you know? The spreadsheet goes wrong. Suddenly your clothes don't fit anymore.
Yeah, well, that's this game in the nutshell right now. Unicorns, they find themselves 8,000 gold up. It's a dragon advantage on top of it, and there's still Baron buff ticking here for Unicorns. A bear inhibitor down bottom lane. They have a lot of options.
Yep. And honestly, to touch on that exhaust point that you mentioned, the cool reason why exhaust is really good against Yasuo is because when he does his ulti animation, he hangs in the air, it's like slicing his blades. The damage comes at the end of the animation. It's so easy to exhaust Yasuo ult because you can wait right before he's like done like doing his little dance in the air, and then you exhaust him and suddenly his ulti does way less. And the majority of the effect is also the armor pen that he gets from doing that ulti. If he's then slowed down, does less damage himself, is just a super efficient exhaust. So you should always wait for him to be at the end of the animation.
Yeah, and there's a decent bit of armor too between Chachi and Move to try and defend and play against it. This pocket pick has just not worked out well for Kikis. You can see it in every facet of the Unicorns' play this time around. Now they siege on two fronts, and they've sent Chachi down to the bottom side. Veritas with a very quick spell shield. Reckless is going to try to make something out of thin air. Can he pull the magic out of his hat? But in comes the teleport from Chachi, and Fnatic are struggling to get back to their own base. Spirit is caught up. He's going to have to burn his flash, and Chachi goes on in, and they turn over to Febiven, pools on, but will it be enough to get away? It is. Reckless exhausted. Even more damage they find. And Kikis does take out Chachi. That is a 1-for-none trade for Fnatic, but they may lose more here.
Yeah, they may lose more here. Goodwill Windwall to buy some times. Trading 1 for 0, but still getting a turret is something that makes the Unicorns happy. They need to be careful on the back end there. There was slight hesitation on that initial play too from Fnatic, I feel. I feel like they could have pulled the trigger much faster on the chase here. So they're definitely a lot more disjointed than they were compared to like early game 1. Unicorns, however, working as a team. He's actually not afraid to go in on the Mega Gnar, even if it costs him his life. I think that's still a worth trade.
Oh, yeah. Especially if Fnatic can't get anything off of this right now. I mean, they've got one tower. Maybe they can pick up one answer, but that's not much.
That's the gate point. Like, look at that right here. Reckless gets a couple of procs here. Is Spirit gonna in? Is he holding? No, they're all walking forward. So the point of the hesitation of Fnatic was wrong, null and void. Right now, is there any major mistakes? No, there's good boomerang or good Yasuo Q that comes out here. Febiven's stuck. He goes very low into pool. Very low on Spirit. Very low on Vizicachi. But then you don't need to kill the members. Killing them sends them to base for like 20-30 seconds. Just chunking them sends them to base for like 15 seconds, which is enough for you to get access to the turret, the objective. That's what you're playing for if you're Unicorns. Objective-based League of Legends. 8 turrets to 1. That is almost unheard of in this matchup. Look at top tier 1 is still alive.
Yeah, they've come a long way, these pink power ponies. Unicorns looking to take game number 2 here, put themselves within arm's reach of Splice and the regional qualifier finals tomorrow. 27 minutes on this clock, and well, it may not have been the bloodbath, but there's still been quite a lot of kills on either side. Yeah. Unicorns aren't afraid to pull the trigger, but they have stacked the deck in their favor. And
we haven't really talked about builds at all in these 2 games. It's really good to see Veritas pick up Executioner's Calling here. Really cheap item and much benefit into the healing that comes out of Febiven. We saw the Gnar and the traditional 2-item power spike really get off, and then add the randomness to that, you know, get a little more tanky, sideline pressure here. So they're really optimizing their builds. Move as well, getting some of the extra AP damage in there. Throw the belt at least. Not afraid to assassinate anyone.
Yeah. Move's not had a bad game either. I mean, it's worth noting that this was pegged as a big weakness of Unicorns, is Move's performance overall. And in game 1, yes, he was shut down early, but he did his job. This game, he has done exactly what he has needed to.
Yeah, but one of my main critiques for Spirit has always been that he doesn't play in unison with his team. Jungle support synergy has almost been non-existent on Fnatic throughout the entirety of the last year, honestly.
It was the same thing when he was on World Elite, you know, or WE before he did the rename. But I mean, that's how Spirit has been since he's left Korea, and it has kind of bitten him a couple of times, and now we're seeing.
But he's a really good pacing jungler, so he's really good when he get like when you allow him to do what he wants to do, which is farm and then create a massive lead. He's a fantastic jungler, but when the game becomes more team-based, you need to work together to get that vision. And I think that's what Unicorns have done more. They've always worked as a team, and Fnatic did it really well in the start of game 1. We can't understate that. Like the way they shut that move, he was left with no options. Trashy weighed in Spice's jungler on Twitter too. He's like, Move could not have played that better. So Move ended up 2 levels down, and he could not have played that better, which means Fnatic did the perfect job in terms of jungle mid synergy. But right now they're looking for an answer to kind of fight this, honestly, suffocating map control from Unicorns is the best way to describe it. Look at all the vision at enemy red. So like by power of elimination, they know exactly where Fnatic is right now.
Yep, spends 1 blue trinket. That's going to be for a little while. The last one that Fnatic do have, it'll come off cooldown pretty easily, but they haven't cleared it away.
So you always need a ward and pit. Like it's so hard to do the. And right now, you can tell that there's a ward and pit by how they approach the brushes. If they're too careful and they're kind of fake baiting you, you got to be like, guys, did we check pit? And that's what they're going to do right now, because like there's no way they're acting like this, or they were going for a cheeky start.
Speaking of cheeky start.
Oh, with the jungler in mid, this is actually a really nice play here.
2-man here. Yeah.
2-manning here.
And there's a quick flash burn by Move to get out of harm's way. This might have been a little too hypey as a teleport comes in. That's going to be the cancellation from Unicorns. Started that one off, but Fnatic did call their bluff, and Move is out of summoner because of it.
Yeah, I mean, you can show the jungler. You don't have to put him into the enemy's face, though. Right now, Chachi going.
Okay, he's got Gnar. They get the stop off, and now Chachi's going to have to burn his own flash. Unicorns scrambling a little bit here, but Exile exhausted still, pumping out machine gun damage if he can. And there we go. It's going to be Move coming in. Reckless and Yellowstar, they separate with the pillar. Move is going to be taken down. Chachi, no, the summoner heal keeps him alive, and Febiven is isolated from his team, and he's gone down. Veritas on the return of the boomerang. Exile looking for the chase here. He's got no flash, but he put Spirit in Rune Prison for a few seconds. He's going to go down. Is Exile going to stay alive? It doesn't look like it, but Kikis, oh so low. Unicorns trade 2 for 2 on that.
2 for 2 overall. We saw Chachi go to base and teleport back in. He's coming on the back end of this fight.
He's got the
eyes set on Reckless, and he turns to Yellowstar.
He should have him. There's no way Trundle's getting away, and that's Unicorns. Are they going to opt for Baron? It looks like it.
Yeah, they're going to opt for Baron, at least deny the vision here. They know that it's completely dark. Remember, this fight started because Fnatic was fighting for vision, which means that vision is still gone. There's no jungle here. Move is spawning in 3 seconds. Kikis going for the hero play. Reckless wants Krugs, and you know, everybody's going to take down the Baron. Not in time to arrive here. Unicorns surprised with the teleport from Chachi. Fnatic was happy that they traded 2 for 2, but then the super good flying TP from Chachi came in. Alright, this is a super complicated fight. The concept that we could track in this fight is how people move in at the side of a fight and then move back out. I think a couple of players did that really well. We have Exile doing it okay at the start. He will fail his flash right now and go into the wall, which is a little bit unlucky. Veritas gets zoned off right now. Febiven's going to walk up and flash over the wall, and he really forces the backline from Unicorns back, but they really good heal on Chachi keeps him alive. And this is Veritas then stepping forward because he knows Exile was drawing the aggro, so the switcheroo of aggro was done really well. Now Spirit goes in, Exile draws a 3-man squad down towards him, and Spirit feels backline. But the fact that Veritas got the heal off on Chachi earlier was really important. Guess who's showing up right now? It's Gnar with no Gnar bar, but he can still just put Yellowstar in a bind, and that's enough for Unicorns to win this fight. So even with a fail flash of Exile, they really played the outskirts of the fight very well. Major props to Febiven to really controlling the center of the fight too with a good flash, but they were just too far behind.
And look at how crucial Unicorns' control this game has proven. I mean, you saw that for a second Fnatic thought about chasing on Exile, but he went back to tower. That's a first-tier turret, almost full health at 32 minutes. Fnatic have only gotten the 1.
Yep.
Yeah, they secured that 1 early dragon, and it's definitely keeping them alive here, but like 32 minutes in, they got 1 tower. They have 10 kills to 14. That looks okay, but they're down over 10,000 gold. This is a massive deficit.
Yeah, and that's why this fight that was played honestly so well by Fnatic, like that Vladimir flashing in like that, it should be, that's a dead Chachi if the gold's even. The problem is because they're so far behind and Exile had the safety of his turret, they could drag out that fight right now.
Looks like the inhibitor won't be dragged out. That's taken out by Unicorns. They're going to start trying to clean up. Remember, there is no inhib turret down on the bottom side, so they don't even need a mini wave to take this one. Fnatic are scrambling to try and push them off, but it is way too late. It's already gone. Unicorns swing for 2, and they grab them 32.5 minutes in. They're looking to start closing this one out.
Yeah, and now it's not of a matter whether Unicorns finish. It's just the fashion in which they choose to do so. Are they going to go for the ultra safe 5-man group, or maybe peel off Chachi, put him in the mid lane, have him push in a little bit?
Well, There's a pretty good reason a lot of the community was looking at Unicorns saying they are looking stronger than Fnatic in their current form. But if they go 2-0 up over this one, it's going to be really, really hard for Fnatic to come right on back. You need to get your mental in shape.
They need a pillar into Yasuo ulti on 2 key players here. So if they can get Ryze and Sivir magically together and Yellow Star pillars them and then Kikis versus R, maybe Fnatic can win. And that is a very green win condition.
Last inhib tower getting chunked a little bit. There's still one cannon creep powered.
This is why it's better to split push, because you can push in mid and bot. Like right now, Unicorns are just waiting. They're waiting for this cannon to do its job one shot at a time, and they're waiting for mid lane and bot lane to arrive. If you look over, the waves are stacking. So the only way Fnatic wins if they pull the trigger before that, or if Unicorns overextend. If the Unicorns take a patient approach, this game will end.
Yeah, Chachi, he knows, he holds on and hops. May not be this exact way, but look at how low that is. Just a couple more shots would be all they need. The wind wall is going to fade.
Like, this is it for Fnatic.
And there it goes.
Because they have to catch the waves. If they waited one more wave and Unicorns didn't bite back, it would have been all over right now.
That's 3 inhibs.
Yeah, 3 inhibs down. 5-man pillar, but no Yasuo near.
We've seen this one before. Unicorns in game number 1. Had a rough time in the early game, but they were able to scale back on up, and now they are the ones fighting out Fnatic inside of their own base. Hemo Plague on to 3, but it may not even matter. Flashes for Febiv and Chachi going deep. Double tower damage, but he has sacrificed himself for the cause, and Kikis gets his GA popped. He'll come back up in a second, but Unicorns are more than equipped to deal with this right now. Sitting on there, Spirit flashing in, looking for Exile. Can Febiv finish him off? He can, but still the Nexus turrets are falling. Fnatic have to get back to base, but they've got nothing left in the tank, and this Nexus tower, Nexus is going all the way down to 0. 35 minutes in, the Unicorns do it again, and they are 1 game away from taking the series.